presentation from the CGE. My name is Nelisa Nobatana. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we hear you, Nelisa.
Yes, we can hear you, Nelly.
Oh, thank you very much, members. My role is a very short one. Just to indicate that the chairperson of the committee will not be able to attend today's meeting. She's writing exams. So in terms of the National Assembly rule, the committee must elect one of its members to chair the session. So I will open for the nomination or election of the chairperson to chair today's meeting. I'll hand over to you, members.
Nelisa.
Hello.
Nelisa.
Hello, Honorable.
Yes, I rise to nominate the name of Fikile Masiko to chair the portfolio for today. Thanks.
I thank you, Honorable Piri. Is there any seconder?
I second, Honorable
I see the hand
Masondo.
of Honorable Masondo.
Yes, I
Honorable
second.
Masondo.
Yes, I second the chair.
Any further nominations? No, I will therefore hand over to Honorable Masiko to chair the session. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Neliswa, and thank you to all the honorable members. Good morning, honorable members, and compliments of the new season to all of you. Let us officially welcome all the members on the platform. We can see that we have the officials.
Recording in progress.
Together with our officials from Parliament, our support staff. Good morning to everybody. Compliments of the new season, as I had mentioned. Let us hope, honorable members, that the year ahead will be a productive year for all of us, especially as this committee, as we strive, honorable members, to work for women, for the young people, and for the persons with disabilities in our country, South Africa. As we kick off the year, I think it's very important for us to, firstly, as a committee, congratulate all the matriculants that set for the national examinations in the month of November, and those that have made it, especially our young women. We are hoping, honorable members, that as we prosper and as we work for the girl child, those that have that will be starting off in the tertiary institutions will, through the various programs that government has, be protected and further their education, because we know that the education of a girl child is paramount to their success. We understand, honorable members, that should a girl child be educated, they are less likely to be forced into circumstances that will seek to abuse them. They will hold on, because we know that in some countries we are still experiencing child marriages, and those marriages are mainly forced on the girl child. But as the girl child progresses, mainly through education, they will less likely be forced into circumstances beyond their own control. We know that the education of a girl child will also lead to the healthy living. Their productive lives in the main will be able to prosper. They will be able to get, a higher income through the industries, different industries that they will venture into, should they be able to be given an opportunity to further their education, and they will be in a position to make, sound decisions on their lives or for or on behalf of their own lives. So we congratulate all the matriculants. We are hoping that the girl child, as they progress into the higher education spaces, will be protected. We want, as a committee, honorable members, to hear less of the horrendous killings of the girl children in higher education spaces. We ought, as a committee working together with the Department of Education, strive to ensure that the education of the girl child is important, and the creating of protective spaces for the girl child in higher education spaces is made as a priority. It is important, honorable members, as we start off the year of 2022, for us to reflect on the year 2021 for gender inequality, for youth development, as well as the protection of the rights of persons with disabilities. We ought to reflect on the year 2021 and the progress that has been made, honorable members, in the development of women, the development of young people, as well as the support that has been given to persons with disabilities. We know that the year 2021, we were living, as we still continue to, under the Disaster Management Act, where we are having the regulations of COVID-19. And yes, we have lost many lives, but we know that women have been at the forefront of the ongoing fight against COVID-19. We also need to reflect on the laws and the policies that have been passed for the protection of women, young people, or children, and persons with disabilities. We also ought, honorable members, to also reflect on the issue of gender-based violence, as we know that it continues to run amok and kill our women, kill our young people. We really need to work harder this year, year 2021, to ensure that women are protected, that our children are protected, as well as persons with disabilities. So the meeting today, honorable members, has been called to reflect on the main, or we are going to be receiving a briefing from CGE on long outstanding reports. We do understand that there are a number of reports that have been completed by CGE, and the reports that the committee will be receiving today and discussing will be the report on gender transformation, on procurement for the year 2018 and 2019. The second report that we will be receiving and discussing, or having a discussion on, is the gender transformation in tertiary institutions, which is for us a very important report, as it also looks into the transformation or gender transformation in tertiary institutions for the year 2018 as well 2019. The last report that we will be receiving today is a report on the rights under culture rights, assessing women's empowerment through houses of traditional leaders in South Africa, 2018. Now, it's important, honorable members, as we receive these reports, noting that these reports were completed a couple of years ago, to make a thorough assessment on the progress that has been made, especially on the implementation of the recommendations of those reports. Those are the three reports we'll be receiving today in today's meeting. I will then request Neliswa to check if we're having any apologies for the meeting, so that we can proceed and hand over to CGE.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have received just one apology, except for the Chairperson's one, from Honorable Hlengwa, who is attending the public hearings of the PC on health, on the NHI hearings. That's the only apology that I've received, except for the Chairperson's one. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay. Do we not have any apologies from CGE?
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. We have an apology from the CEO, Ms. Jamela Robertson, who is not feeling well. Thank you, Chair. I will, I think that's the only apology that I have received, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson, and welcome to your good self and the entire team from CGE. Honorable members, I'm not seeing any hands that are raising any apologies. We will then hand over to CGE to proceed with the reports. And I will request honorable members that we hold on the discussions. We receive the 3 reports, and then we will discuss the entire reports, the 3 reports, once the presentations have been made. I will hand over to you, Chairperson, and request for you to lead. You will then inform us who will be tabling the reports. Over to you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome, Chairperson, and greetings to you and compliments of the new year to yourself, Honorable Chair, Umama, Honorable Masiko, and all members of the Portfolio Committee. We send greetings from the Commission for Gender Equality. This morning, Chair, we have been invited and we are quite excited for the invite, but I must also say that the Commission is delighted to be invited by the committee to come and present the 3 reports and the key findings of these reports and what the reports are actually recommending. During the financial year, Honorable Chair, in 2018-2019, the Commission for Gender Equality conducted research. It also did investigative hearings, and all of these were based on our Constitution. These were based on our legislative mandate, which is derived from Section 187 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, and the CGE Act number 39 of 1996, that actually gives the Commission for Gender Equality powers to monitor and evaluate policies, to monitor and evaluate practices of all organs of state at any level, to promote gender equality and make recommendations once these investigations and research have been done. And these recommendations are given by the commissions where deemed necessary. So, Chairperson, as you have indicated earlier, the first report that we will be presenting this morning basically is a report that was assessing gender transformation in tertiary institutions following the public investigative hearings, where we actually subpoenaed certain universities that we randomly selected to come and appear before the commission and account on compliance issues, especially or in particular with regards to compliance with the Employment Equity Act, compliance with other gender-related legislations. So that will be the first report that we will be presenting, Chair. And once we have done these investigative hearings, we usually release a preliminary report, and we actually discuss in the partners to come and appear before us, time a year or 2 years to actually go and implement the recommendations, and then they come before us to come and really tell us how far they have gone in terms of making sure that those recommendations have been implemented, and then we then develop a final report. And I think there are certain reports that I did share with you recently, Chair, that are looking at the progress made, and those reports are looking at 2019-2020 financial years, respectively. Chair, the second report basically is based on the public investigative hearings again that the CGE conducted, and the process that was followed basically was a process which focused mainly on the procurement processes, on policies as well as practices in the public sector. And we looked at issues of compliance with National Treasury guidelines. And we further looked at other challenges or any other issues that are actually presenting institutions or are barriers for these institutions that we selected in terms of achieving gender equality. And this report further looked at challenges that are basically impacting on procurement processes, that are impacting on, selecting companies that are run by women in terms of tenders that were issued. So these are some of the issues that we looked at, not only women, but also young people and persons with disabilities. The third report, Chair, was based on the research that was conducted by the Commission for Gender Equality, and this report is themed Gender Rights under Culture Rights. And this research was assessing women empowerment through houses of traditional leaders in South Africa. And there are two this particular report is quite interesting because it actually looked at issues, at policy research, policy issues, and gaps that are there in terms of how the traditional or house of traditional leaders are actually looking or achieving gender equality, and making sure that there is no gender discrimination that is happening. And I must also stress the fact that the study basically, Chair, it's looking at policy issues, it's looking at practices issues, long-term issues, rather than looking at violations of gender rights at short-term processes. Therefore, the key issues and findings of this research report basically are such that some of the issues and recommendations that we have picked up are recommendations that we ourselves as the Commission for Gender Equality, we are able to pick them up and implement through our departments, various departments such as the
You
Chairperson,
muted,
you are
Chair.
muted. Chair, you are muted.
PEI, national leaders need implement in terms of education, raising awareness on certain gaps that we have picked up. But also the legal department or legal unit, Chairperson, will actually do work on a longer term period that will actually be making sure that we look at cases that are brought before the Commission, and those cases which are usually based on succession of women to traditional leadership, and cases where we actually subpoena some of these and engage these traditional houses and traditional leaders, working closely with COCTA in terms of trying to solve some of those cases that are brought before us. And some of the cases that we know very well that has been out there for a long time is the Shilubana versus the Mamuita case. And these are some of the cases that we sometimes look at. But I think the PEI unit basically looks at education, capacity building of traditional leaders, and so that those leaders are able to look at gender issues or look at gender issues with the gender lens, and making sure that they do understand what we mean by gender mainstreaming, and also changing their mindset, changing their attitudes, and changing their behaviors. So basically, those are the reports that we are bringing before the Commission this morning. However, Chair, I must mention that this morning we are a bit challenged because the CEO who was supposed to present these 3 reports is unfortunately not feeling well, and the reports today will be, we have made a request that the 3 reports be presented by the researcher, Ms. Naledi Silebano, who will present the research report, whilst Ms. Mamello Matthews and Ms. Samantha Pritz will present the 2 investigative reports, Chair. And thank you very much for the opportunity. Chair, without waste of time, I would then request one of the presenters to come on board and do the presentation. Thank you very much, Chair, and thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think we are awaiting one of the researchers, as you had mentioned, to come on the platform and proceed with the presentation.
Thank you, Chair. I will invite Ms.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Naledi Silebano.
Can everyone hear me? Good morning. What is happening?
Good morning, Ms. Matthews. We can hear you. Proceed.
Perfect. Thank you. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. I believe am I the first to go? I think I'm not. I think Ms. Naledi is the first to go. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct, Ms. Matthews. But if she...
I'll mute and just give her a few seconds. Maybe she's also trying to get on while I'm still talking.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you for the opportunity. I was awaiting a cue from you in terms of who would go first. I hope that my presentation is on the screen. Kindly let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you very much. Good morning, honorable members, and good morning to the commissioners from the CGE, as well as my fellow colleagues on the platform who will be presenting with me today. I am Ms. Naledi Silebano. I'm a researcher from the Commission. I am accompanied by Ms. Dieketse Mohlakana Motopi, who will also just be providing support this morning. And I have been assigned to take us through the presentation on assessing women's empowerment through houses of traditional leaders. And this is from a study that was conducted in 2018. And these